I can't begin to tell you how excited I am about tonight, because this is the culmination of a dream that I had 4 years ago when I came to work with LightSpeed. And one of the first things that I sat down with Randy and talked about was, if we're gonna own something, let's own it. We operate in the warehouse. It's dark, it's hot, it's cold, it's not very sexy. We don't have the vending machines, we don't have shiny trucks. I mean, the people that use our software work hard. And I think it's time that we give them an opportunity to recognize some of the people that work in the warehouse. So this is the very first, hopefully not the last, Warehouse of the Year Awards sponsored by LightSpeed. So I want to set this up a little bit and explain to you how we got to tonight before we get into the process of revealing the finalists. When you sit down and say, we want to recognize the Warehouse of the Year, it's kind of like saying which one of our children are our favorites. We can't pick that. Now, I know for a fact that my mother thought I was a favorite. My brothers and sisters disagreed with me, but it's hard for us to recognize a customer without stepping on somebody's toes and hurting somebody else's feelings. So we had to make this process completely separate from the people that worked in our office. So the first part of the process was we reached out to our friends at G&J Marketing and asked them to help us with the nomination process. So we asked each G&J rep, with Greg Sidwell's blessing, to recommend and nominate one company in their territory to be a nominee for the Warehouse of the Year Awards. They're in the buildings every single quarter. They are as well educated on what a good business looks like as much as we are. And they happily accepted that and sent in their nominations. So there were 29 branches, companies that were nominated for this award. From there, we started using the metrics that we taught you today in our presentation about warehouse efficiency to narrow it down to 3. So we got to 3 finalists by using numbers. We used the exact same metrics and the exact same numbers that you saw today. It's clock PPH, active PPH, and the percentage of clock time. Once we got our top 3, it was time to find some judges who were willing to get out of their office and actually go and view the operations and cast a ballot. So this conversation was something like this. It's like, hey, I need a favor. I want you to get out of your office, get on a plane, fly to 3 different locations across the country, on your own time, go in unannounced, and take this checklist, and I want you to go through and tell me which one of these 3 companies you think deserve to be Warehouse of the Year. And oh, by the way, I'm not paying you for it. And all of our judges said, I'm in. And they all said, I'm in, with 0 hesitation. And because of that, I want to take a minute and recognize our judges who were the 7 people who determined this award. And I'm going to bring them up on stage because, in my opinion, they went above and beyond what we asked them to do. So the first judge I want to introduce to you really doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. Everybody in the industry knows him. He's one of the most likable people you'll ever meet. Obviously, G&J is a good partner of LightSpeed. They represent us with Level and Connect in the field. He is the brains behind Greg Sidwell, which is challenging in and of itself. So the first judge I want to bring up on stage really doesn't need any introduction, but I did want to say that he was recently voted 2nd best hair in the vending world. Please welcome Thad Drum. You got it. Absolutely. So the second judge I want to introduce is one of the rapidly rising stars in our industry. Gimme has kind of revolutionized the whole machine service piece at the vending machine. A little soft spot for me. He's a Georgia Tech graduate. I'm a huge Georgia Tech fan. We have a horrible football team with a football coach that we somehow can't seem to get rid of. But you know what? When you're a Georgia Tech graduate, not that I am, you stick together. I started cheering for Georgia Tech when I was a small kid, and blood is thicker than water, so I'll continue to pull for Georgia Tech. But Evan was very gracious in accepting this and recently was voted the best hair in the vending world. Please welcome Evan Jarecki. Thank you. So our third judge, it's remarkable that this guy actually said these words out of his mouth, and I'll save that for just a second, but Steve is been a really, really good friend of LightSpeed's. I did not really know him that well until Accelerate last year. We had an opportunity to talk and spent a bunch of time about what they wanted to do and what their goals were. And it was like God was telling us, hey, you two need to meet because we've formed a great partnership. I'm still a little bit confused at someone who actually said, yeah, and I'm quoting now, yeah, I sold my company, I made a whole bunch of money, I went to the beach and I got bored and I wanted to come back to work. So he started another business. So whether you believe that or not, I don't know, but please welcome Steve Klosser. Thank you, sir. So they say behind every man is a great woman. Well, in this case, in front of every man is a great woman. And the other half of Steve and Patty, obviously, is Patty. And getting to know her and talking to her and understanding how she coaches and trains and works with the people that used to work for her almost makes me a little bit jealous that I didn't get an opportunity to actually work for her, because she has the heart of a coach and the heart of a teacher, and she's one of the most compassionate people that I've ever had the opportunity to meet, and she has to deal with Steve on a daily basis. So please welcome Patty Klosser. Our next judge is a longtime friend of LightSpeed's. It will only take you probably 15 seconds to realize he's not from Alabama, that he's from Brooklyn, New York. John has been a longtime friend of the company's. He's a big advocate of what we're trying to do. We're a big supporter of his. If you ever follow him on LinkedIn, like I do, he is the first thing I see every time I log into LinkedIn. I know what he eats, when he eats, where he eats, and he's got to show me how he does a selfie from behind his head because he posts them every single day. But he's a really good friend of LightSpeed's, and please welcome John Hickey. So our next judge has recently become a very valuable asset to Team LightSpeed. Part of what we do with Fast Track and helping people with warehouse layouts and pick lines involves carton flow shelving and pallet racking and things like that. And about a year and a half ago, we got introduced to this guy through our relationship with Interroll. And he has come on board really, really fast and learned an awful lot about the vending world. He understands what a chip bed is. He understands what a drink bed is. He understands the concept of pre-kitting. He understands everything that you need in a warehouse. And he's probably forgotten more about warehouse automation than I will ever know in my entire lifetime. And he's really become a big, big part of our team. And I really want to welcome Damon Kostler to the stage. So what judging panel would be complete without a little bit of international flavor? So we went all the way over to New Zealand to recruit a Kiwi who probably doesn't know what a warehouse looks like, doesn't understand what warehouse people do, doesn't really understand anything about what you guys do, but said, you know what, I'm in a different accent, obviously. He is tall, handsome, good looking, and charming. This is what he emailed me to say about him right here. Can't wait to hear his presentation tomorrow on digital cold calling, but please welcome to the stage Mr. Neil Swindell. I can't thank these guys enough. They pulled money out of their pocket, out of their company to go out and see our 3 finalists and make their final judgments. They ranked them 1, 2, and 3, and we took each judge ranking, we added them up, and the total combined score from each judge became the finalist's final score. It was a very close race. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But without further ado, let's introduce you to our very first finalist.
Warehouse of the Year. Finalist. Automatic Chef.
Our culture is about being local and being who we are for the local community. Waco is a very hometown, and so that we're the hometown guys goes a long, long ways. It's really about that customer experience, the customer service. They know us, they trust us. The vending world is fascinating because you never know what each day holds. All the different facets that go together, the different people, the different pieces that have to go together to service the customer, but also to make sure that us as a company, that we are efficient and, of course, profitable.
Well, to be honest with you, we teach efficiency very well, so we're very efficient back there. And I've grown and learned back there on the line on the actual snack side, because we do it different, where the LightSpeed is being ran off the rollers and the actual lights. I've only wanted to hire young ladies because they work faster, they're more efficient, and they do a much better job. And I believe that's the reason why we do such a good job.
Every woman in America would cheer in that comment.
Okay, I have a great mother.
We decided to partner with the local YMCA. The local YMCA here in Waco is a great organization. The main thing that we love about the YMCA is what they do for kids, specifically after school. The after school program is one of the largest in the entire city, and it enables us to really serve them in a capacity to help kids, but also, just the local community at large, as they have 3 facilities throughout the city. They not only allow a safe place for kids to go after school, but it creates a wellness environment, fitness environment that just instills some great things into the kids. Some of the things that we do is we will donate snacks and drinks to that organization for big events that they have. Anytime that we can partner with them to be able to help the community.
So Automatic Chef couldn't be here tonight. Obviously, those of you who are HGTV fans, Waco is home to Chip and Joanna Gaines with Fixer Upper. When I was there, I saw excited people. The gals that were back on the pick line were camera shy. Nobody wanted to get on the camera, but it was a really good operation, and we are very excited to have them be one of our finalists. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our second finalist.
Warehouse of the Year. Finalist. M&M Sales.
1950, my parents came to Lafayette as Tom's distributors. I was born in 51 at this location. My birth certificate has this location, this address as on my birth certificate. I think I was born in the old warehouse back then. We've never moved. We started M&M Sales Company with 4 coffee machines. And then we had customers that asked for this and asked for that, and it's history from there. I mean, we just simply, did what the customers asked us to do.
What we always try to do is make sure we have an environment that makes it fun to come to work. Because if they have fun, they're going to work better. They're going to work harder. They're going to get to know each other better. Once you build those type of relationships, I feel it kind of, everything rolls together. The whole team becomes one. If you're hiring the best people, they're going to do their job every day. They're going to show up, do the job right, and get it done.
I think we have a culture of family. If we all work together, if we all do what is asked of everybody, then we do it with a smile on our face, with the right attitude, and we get it done.
The people that I work with, awesome, great. Everybody gets along, and that's what's great about it. That's why I love it so much, because the teamwork, front to back.
The charity that if we win this, would go to is a charity. It's called the Acadiana Food Hub. It's kind of close to our hearts, simply because my youngest son is the person who is in charge of that charity that is geared to providing fresh produce to underprivileged families, that would not ordinarily have access to that. He is working very hard to try to get that, and he's struggling, and everybody thinks what he's doing is a great idea, and not everybody is able to help him accomplish that.
Ladies and gentlemen, from M&M Sales, please welcome Chuck McMath, Michael McMath, and Lauren Harris. It's all yours.
You have a skit or something? You came up with something?
No. Today I was thinking that if we were fortunate enough to win this, then I needed to at least have some notes taken. I was sitting in my room, and so I made some notes. And the people that I want to thank, on here are obviously LightSpeed and David and Randy. We appreciate all that y'all have done. The judges, I'm sorry that we would not let you in, okay? We had a security issue there for the minute, and so I think y'all have something to say.
Come on, Lauren. You've had a month to prepare for this.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're excited to be up here, but I'm totally intimidated to talk in front of you all. Jeff Parks said that the warehouse sets the tone for the rest of the operation, and our warehouse they're the rock stars, and we're just the background music. We feel like we have an awesome operation, and we want to name the people that are in our warehouse. We have Jared, Dwayne, Christine, Shelda, Sherry, Donald, Hunter, Calvin, Tina, Patrick, Susan, and Logan. So we want to thank them for getting us into the finals. So.
Usually I'm the one that they tap to speak, so I don't really have much more to say than I didn't take any notes on a roll of toilet paper. I think I have to thank my parents for building a business that has allowed us to employ and be a part of that family that he spoke about. We've got 85 employees and their family. And that's the most important part for us, is just becoming a family together. So thanks again.
Thank you. I absolutely love going to Louisiana to see these guys, because I love the accent. You heard the accent on all the employees on the video. There's something about, you guys all have accents. No, you do. And we love it. And we love the food down there as well. But John Klinger, who is the guy in the corner back over there who's doing the production on this, is our video guy who put all these pieces together. And I don't usually tell John how I want these pieces to look, except broad picture. But I came back from this and I said, I don't care what you do. You make sure the fact that Chuck McMath was born in a warehouse is in that piece, because that's the most fascinating thing I'd ever heard. So congratulations on being a finalist, guys. So I'd like to share with you who our third and final finalist is.
Warehouse of the Year. Finalist. All-Star Services.
Company culture here is, very focused on positivity. We find that negativity grows very quickly, so we try to prevent that by having a positive atmosphere for our management team, for our employees, both internally and externally.
Being a family-owned and operated business, we try to treat our employees as such. We try to treat them as family members or extended family members of our family. We engage with them, we learn about their families and their kids, and we really try to bring in a family atmosphere into our culture so people feel welcome and they feel warm when they come to work at All-Star.
We rebranded ourselves roughly 6 months ago. We have a new logo, new website, new mission, vision, values, and a new tagline. On the back of the t-shirt you see in the warehouse, it says Connect, Innovate, Exceed. And that is our tagline as a company. We want to connect with our customers with innovative solutions and exceed all their expectations. That's really our goal as a business. You know, we really have a motto in the warehouse of accuracy and neatness over speed, which is funny that we're nominated for, you know, our metrics on picking and how much we do in an hour. I think that comes secondary to being neat and accurate. So the charity we're choosing, a little bit of background, we recently lost our Vice President of Finance to a battle with cancer. About 2 months ago, she passed, and you know, it's hit our business, myself, our management team very hard, not only from the void it leaves in the business, but also our hearts. And you know, we got together as a team and wanted to do something in her name. When we found out that we were nominated, one, we were obviously very flattered and humbled because you never think you're doing things that great. And then we were chosen as a finalist and found out that we have a chance to maybe win $5,000 to put towards a charity. Her name came up, and we wanted to do something for her in her name. And Janet was very big into gardening at home. And so we've spoken to our local community foundation and are going to start a fund in her name that's going to put money toward either local gardens or starting a garden, but it's going to be done in her name for moving forward. So we're very excited about that, and hopefully we can get that started.
Ladies and gentlemen from All Star Services, please welcome Duncan Smith. Congratulations, brother. It's all yours.
I get a little choked up every time I watch that, so bear with me for a second here. But no, obviously there's two things I want to talk about being up here. One is very thankful, and two is proud. Thankful to Randy, LightSpeed, Dave, the team you guys have put together to really provide a solution to our warehouse that automates it, helps us push efficiencies, because I know it was mentioned earlier, but the warehouse really is the backbone of all of our operations. I mean, that's where it all starts. And then obviously I'm proud that our team at All-Star has found a way to take this technology, the innovation you guys have provided, and push it one step further and continue to make ourselves better and continuously improve ourselves. So again, those are the two things I'm happy to be here for. So thanks again, appreciate it.
Part of the award for being Warehouse of the Year is a check for $5,000 to the charity of their choice, which is why we ended every single piece with a charity. One of the things that we found as we went and visited, and as I talked to the judges about their visits, and my personal visit as I went out and shot the video for each one of these clips, was how incredibly amazing their warehouse teams were. And again, I'm in a warehouse for 15 minutes and I start to feel the sweat pull in my back and I'm ready to go inside where it's cool. And these guys have to work out there 8, 9, 10 hours a day. And I just have an enormous amount of respect for it. So I came back and I said, Randy, we got to do something a little bit more. We just can't give one winner. So in the spirit of giving, and it's one of the reasons why I love working for Randy, each of the finalists that don't win will get a $2,500 check for their charity as well. So we're giving out $10,000 today. We're extremely proud to be making donations to the 3 charities that you saw tonight. So without further ado, I have the Warehouse of the Year award winner in my hand. And you guys do realize I know who the winner is. This is all for effect because of the camera, that you have to have an envelope to pull out to be able to read it. But it doesn't matter because it's extremely proud, and I'm honored to announce that the very first Warehouse of the Year award winner is M&M Sales. Here you go, brother.
Can't do this. Now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn. I don't know if there's much more that I can say, but thank you. Thank y'all for giving us this opportunity. Thank y'all for making it easy. Randy, thank y'all for making it easy for us to provide an environment for our warehouse people to do what they do. This is one of the most incredible industries, I think, on the planet. And it means the world for us to stand up here and to be a part of this. So thank y'all.
One point that I failed to mention, the difference in first and second place was 1 point. That's how close this race was. That's how close these two operations were. So Duncan, again, we are happy to be able to make a donation to your CFO's charity, and we hope that there are plenty of flowers that get grown for a long time as a result of that.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been an incredible night, guys. This has been a dream of mine. I cannot thank you enough for being a part of this. It's been a wonderful day. I hope everybody got a lot out of what we talked about today, all the presenters, and I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of networking in the bar in about 15 minutes. Thank you all very much.